Hello everybody! I didn't think this would be the topic of today's video as I'm working on an ODST review video at the moment. I got the old disc and I've got lots of ideas for the upcoming video, but I kept on getting asked on stream, Twitter, and in the YouTube comments to weigh in about this. The topic today is the Halo Combat Evolved remake and will it make the Halo franchise extinct? Sean had his thoughts on it, people wanted mine, and honestly I literally just did a small short video about this the other day, talking about future Halo titles. I've spoken about the upcoming games to death. I've even covered the latest controversy with people saying, oh my god, it's a campaign only title, which I honestly saw as a positive. More standalone stories, aka ODST, one definitive multiplayer that continually gets better. I think that is better than one game every 5 years, one definitive multiplayer, and one new campaign every few years. What I also saw was a lot of non-Halo channels jumping on the news that Halo Studios developers aren't currently happy with the quality of the upcoming games. What I said in rebuttal to this a few weeks ago was that I asked my own sources as context, as I feel like giving you guys as accurate information as I can, it's important. I wanted to know why this was being said. Why was there tensions at the studio currently? Why are things stressful? To catch you up, from what I heard, the developers are developing the systems needed to create Unreal Halo games, as well as developing multiple games at the same time. It's stressful, and that can cause a lot of tension. Game development is hard, even at the best of times. I'm looking at you, Halo 2 development cycle, and I was actually really grateful that you guys showed an absolute outpour of support saying thank you for making that video. It's easy for people to go doom and gloom, but you always try to give both sides of the equation, and that is important to me. Even with the whole Halo Studios / 343 Industries situation, so many people said, well, it's still 343, and I pointed out that maybe 10% or less of the staff currently working at the studio worked on Halo Infinite. Different leadership team, different developers. In terms of personnel, it's a much different studio nowadays than 4 to 5 years ago. Then, on the flip side of that, because I give both sides, I said where they might be similar now is in terms of culture. If Microsoft are still making the tone-deaf decisions and developers aren't allowed to cook, then it'll be the same bullshit that happened with past titles. Context is important. So this brings me to today, and it's kind of on the same vein as those non-Halo channels going for Halo's jugular. There's a big difference in being critical and being an absolute toxic idiot. I'm the first one to bring up past games, failure to launch in the state that is necessary, but I also recognize that I want Halo to succeed. I want a new generation of fans to grow up playing the franchise I love. I want to see people having fun on the games, whether it be MCC, Infinite, Halo 5, anything. I'm as cautiously optimistic as they come, but I don't think it's healthy to go full doom and gloom before you've even seen the games. Am I crazy for thinking that? To wait and see what the reveal is in October, to judge the game on its merits when we actually get to play it. I don't think it's a good thing to actively prey on the game's downfall and then you just go and move on to the next title. I've seen some channels that literally only do this game is dead, show the population at launch, then show it declining over time, something that 99% of games do, especially single player ones. Maybe as I get older, I observe and I see things differently, but I definitely see channels, some really big in size, all they do is extreme negative content and it seems to pull massive views. On the flip side of that, I do think this is important to say, being critical and voicing your opinion can really help to change a game, but it's how you do it that is so important. That's not just exclusive to video games, that's life in general. Nowadays, and you guys probably have seen this too, there seems to be so much division everywhere, all of the time. It genuinely seems like people can't even talk to each other anymore without it devolving into an argument. In terms of gaming and Halo, I want the developers and the community to have almost a symbiotic relationship that feedback is listened to and an open dialogue happens. That does mean the developers need to listen to fans when they ask for things like social features going forward. People want to be able to make friends on their video games. A crazy concept. Halo Infinite, for all the shit that game has gotten, and in many cases rightfully so, every week for the last 4 years, we as a channel have consistently made suggestions and 90% of them have been implemented by the developers. We list off things we want to see, things that are important to us, and even if it's not an immediate change, Infinite took huge steps in the right direction because of the community. And that's not just my channel, it was a collaborative effort from everyone. There's in-game currency just by playing now. You can unlock free cosmetics with that currency now. The Forgers put out amazing content and they're starting to get paid. And because of the community support to see Infinite continue, we're even even getting new sandbox items now, 1 per season. We asked for a match composer. We got it. Yes, this is the way Halo Infinite should have launched, and no, players will not put up with if that happens again. But Halo Infinite could have gone the way of Anthem, so many games, even Marathon at the moment, and yet the developers worked day in and day out, and they got the game where it needed to be. It might be the FPS version of No Man's Sky at this point. With that, it brings us to the Halo Combat Evolved remake, specifically how and if it could kill the franchise. To be truthfully honest, Halo is a big franchise to Microsoft. It always will be, and just by saying that, I don't see the franchise going anywhere for the foreseeable future. Infinite even turns a profit nowadays, which I never thought would happen, but it does. The Combat Evolved remake could be great, it could be shit. It again comes down to waiting and seeing. The number one thing I want, you want, hell, we all want, is for the game to be finished at launch. A single player campaign is a much easier task to complete in regards to features, so I honestly think that part of the game will be okay. I saw so many people debating whether the remake will have sprint, will it be modernized? My big sticking point, and it's my example, is make the remake similar to the Doom remake, where it's additive, where it builds on the franchise, where it respects legacy. And don't do, and here's my example the other way, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. All of those campaign remakes 1, 2, and 3 are nowhere near as in-depth as their original counterparts. The good thing is that the roadmap for Halo Studios to follow has already been written. Features are limited with a standalone campaign. The story by Bungie is laid out. You could even add stuff from external media, even incorporate brutes and other factions now that it's a retelling. Add to it, make it better than it was in 2001. There's a lot of really big positives and ways where this remake could be really good. Of course, you could ask the question, do we even need a remake? But if Halo is going to PlayStation and they want newer generations to try out the franchise, 343 and now Halo Studios, their track records for campaign stories aren't that great. So if they follow a template, they do it well. If it is done like the Doom trilogy of games, so 2016, Eternal, and then the Dark Ages, Halo fans would be very, very happy. I also have to say, and I know I'm a Halo nerd, but the prospect of getting multiple titles and not having to wait 5 years in between games, I think we can all agree that's a big positive. Currently, Halo is an award-winning book franchise, not a video game series. I want more video games, and I recognize that games take much longer to make now, so if they don't have to worry about all those other features, they just focus on telling a good story, and the Halo universe is so rich with good stories to tell, it could turn out really well. In summary, I want Halo to succeed. Playing video games for all of us is a hobby. Hobbies should be fun. Life is short. And if we aren't enjoying our time here, what are we really doing? It's all good to be critical and have our feedback, but even me, I want to have fun making videos. I want to put out cool shit. I don't want it to be doom and gloom 24/7. I don't think you guys do either. This video was really off the cuff, so I didn't really plan it out, but it was on my mind. It's been on my mind for a while. I'm not going to judge any of the Unreal projects until we actually get to see and or play them. I feel you guys on being skeptical. I am as well. I'm being very cautiously optimistic. With all of that in mind, and I said I was going to do this, and I have been doing it the last 6 months, I'm really going to try champion the strength of the community, showing off all the amazing creations you guys and even I make with my trick shots. It's why I do the news videos, to give a showcase to all of the people doing amazing work with the franchise. We're going to wait and see what Halo Studios is cooking up in October, and then we can say, yep, we love it, or nope, we hate it. Good or bad, you guys can rest assured that I'll be giving my feedback one way or the other, and I'll be taking every single comment you guys post to give you all a voice. Thank you for watching. Join the Discord if you haven't. We'll be doing a massive watch party for the reveal. I'll even be streaming on the channel. It's going to be huge. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.